Hey everybody, welcome back to Gideon Stuff. Today I have an interesting video I wanted to do. I want to kind of talk about my review cutting and the importance that I put into showing cutting in my reviews. So as a lot of you may know, if you're familiar with the channel, I'm a pretty hard use type of guy. I use my knives like they're supposed to be used. I use knives. Some of them I use very hard. Some of them I don't use very hard. I do like to use my knives in the way that I think suits them best, in a way that they can handle. And I really like to see how much a knife can do. I want to push it to its limits, and I want to really give it its all. And so for all my reviews, I never review a knife until I've spent enough time with it cutting and EDCing it, carrying it, doing all the kinds of things that I think it should be able to do. So obviously, I do a lot of cutting with just my regular EDC, but I do not always film it. There are some times where I'll film my EDC cutting, and you're going to be seeing some footage of that playing here in the background. Usually I only film my regular EDC cutting when I have a point to make, which sometimes I don't have a specific point to make about a knife. But there are certain knives that I really do like to show real-world use, to either demonstrate a certain type of geometry, the usefulness of a certain blade, or if it's a knife that I just really, really like, I want to show why I like it so much, why I think it's such a great user. However, that being said, I want to show every single knife I review cutting to some degree. And so that's why in my reviews I have included what I call review cutting, which is where I basically just take the knife and I cut some stuff for the review, which is separate from my EDC cutting because this cutting I'm doing specifically for a video and I do record it. Now, my EDC tasks include a lot of different things, a lot of different knives. I break down cardboard a lot for my regular EDC. I'm also outdoors quite a bit. I like fixed blades, and I use fixed blades quite a lot. And so there's a bunch of different tasks that I expect from different knives. And so for a while, my cutting demonstrations for my reviews were always just slicing through cardboard to show a knife slicing. But I started to realize that maybe I should do a little bit more. So I decided that I needed to do more than just slice cardboard, because let's be honest, some knives just aren't good at slicing cardboard, but they might be good at other things. So I wanted to show a couple of different cutting mediums for every knife that I review, just to kind of give a more broad sense of what the knife is capable of. Because as I have definitely shown on my channel numerous times, I can definitely see a place for both super slicey, ultra, efficient EDC knives, as well as big, chunky, hard use, beefy knives. So let's go ahead and get into the test that I designed. Alright, so let's start with the classic, the test that will never go away, the good old cardboard slice. I realize I've been using the word test. That's not exactly right. These are more like demonstrations. Most of the testing comes from just my regular EDC. That's where I really learn what this knife is good at, not good at, what is it capable of, stuff like that. These review cuts are just to kind of show what I've learned about the knife. So cardboard slicing is good for showing slicing, oddly enough. Some knives will bind up in cardboard. Some knives will, instead of like slicing it nicely, they'll more push apart and kind of rip and tear. So not fun. The next is going to be rope cutting, and there's two parts to this. So first is just to pull through slice like you saw there. And the second part is pushing down onto this piece of rope. So for this test, I've specifically chosen a kind of cheap plasticky type fiber twine more than a rope. And the reason I chose this is because this stuff is notoriously bad on knives. Because it's that plasticky, hard, fibrous type stuff, it provides quite a bit of resistance. So for this test with a pull through, that shows the knife. That shows the knives, whatever. That shows the sharpness of the apex of the edge. See if it can pull through, as well as just kind of demonstrating some of the pros and cons of different blade shapes. Some blades will not pull through a piece of rope because the rope will just slide off the end of the blade. For the pushing cuts, I'm just trying to push down onto this rope and seeing how many strands the blade will go through before it is stopped. Typically, a knife with a more, ironically, either a more robust or a more slim blade will go through this easily, and knives that are kind of in between will get stopped. I think it mostly has to do with, of course, thin sliciness as well as just overall weight of the blade. So next test is the pool noodle test. And this basically just tells me a lot about the geometry of the knife. And this is a test that is a little easier for the viewers to see, maybe. You can see the knife that, some knives going through the pool noodle, they get hung up because their geometry is a little bit off. I'm not saying that it's always thick knives. You can see the knife here is one that has a pretty thick spine and it slices through pretty well. But sometimes knives that just have off geometry, even if they're a small, thin knife, will struggle with the pool noodle. And as I'm cutting through the pool noodle, I can feel whether or not the grinding on the knife was done well. Because if it's not done well, again, it'll hang up. So these are the 3 tests I've started doing. Or not tests, demonstrations. Gosh, I'm an idiot. These are the demonstrations I've been doing just to kind of show some pros and cons of each knife. And oh geez, I think I'm wearing the exact same clothes in all of these videos. Some of them were filmed on the same day, but a couple of them were filmed on different days, and wow. My choice of style is impeccable. But anyways, these are the 4 demonstrations that I'm using just to give the viewers an idea of where the knife sits in terms of performance. There will be a few reviews of mine coming out after this video comes out that have my older style of just doing cardboard slicing, but I am starting to phase into the new routine. So definitely keep an eye out for those videos. I think this will improve just, the overall effectiveness of the cutting portions of my reviews. It'll make them a little bit longer, and geez, heaven knows my videos need to be longer. But I think it's a good thing. I think I'm doing the right thing here, in my own humble opinion. But yeah, I really do want to know what you guys think. Again, most of the testing, most of what I learn about the knives comes from my EDC time with them, and this is just to kind of illustrate a few things for the sake of the review. Another thing to mention is that some reviews will feature goofy cutting demonstrations, because I know a lot of you guys enjoy those, and I enjoy them too, especially in cold steel videos. And I know a lot of cold steel people watch my videos, and they must love the stupid stuff I do with cold steel. I mean, who doesn't? But yes, some reviews will feature goofy cutting demonstrations because, come on, it's fun, and some knives just need to be treated a little bit goofy. And you guys know I'm all about cutting trees in half and stuff with knives. So, yeah, that's not going away anytime soon. Which brings me to the last thing I want to talk about, and that's testing videos. Testing is different than cutting demonstrations. I've said that a few times already, but in case you're unaware, when you go to my channel, you can go to my playlist section, and I have a whole playlist dedicated to my testing videos. I do a lot of testing, both serious and just kind of for laughs, but that is separate from cutting demonstrations in reviews. Sometimes there's some overlap between my testing and my review videos, but most of the time the testing is very contained within testing videos, and testing goes above and beyond. Usually my testing centers around hard use knives or unique knives or knives that are built for a specific purpose. So, regular EDC knives such as, I don't know, we'll talk like the CJRB Scoria or the Civivi Lazar, just to mention some knives that have come across my table recently. They do not get testing videos because, they're kind of light duty EDC slicers, so I don't really think they need it. And that's going to be it, guys. I hope this was a good video. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you kind of got some insight into how I approach my knife reviews. And if you want to see the full videos of any of the clips that I have shown in this video so far, you can definitely go and look them up on my channel. Some of the videos might not be posted yet, but anyways, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I've been Gideon, and I'll see you in the next one. You guys take care.